Okay, Danica Patrick is now joining us. She's do double duty here this weekend. She's going to drive the number 10 GoDaddy Racing Chevrolet in the Sprint Cup Series and the number 7 GoDaddy.com Chevrolet in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Danica, good to see you, and maybe talk about racing here at Dover. It's a track that gets a lot of reviews as one that's being very hard and you know, a tough challenge for a stock car driver.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't have as much experience and as many laps as I'd like to have from the Nationwide Series. I went out of the race 2 years ago when I did this one with a blown right front in the first run, and then earlier this year when we were here I got collected in an accident after the first stop, so unfortunately I just don't have enough laps. But we're definitely going to get plenty of laps this weekend with both cars combined, and I do feel like it's kind of nice to go out in the Cup car first because you know, it's the faster car, and I feel like it helps me push a little harder when I get into the Nationwide car and just be more comfortable. Everything happens so much slower in the Nationwide car, so everything from down the straights to getting in the gas, it's just all a little more lethargic. So I think that'll be a good scenario. We've got, you know, we're in the car. Anybody that's doing double duty, we're in the car from 11 to 4:15, I think, or something like that, basically all day. And my biggest challenge is just going to be, you know, getting up to speed, and especially in the Cup car, and, you know, finding a time to eat something.
That's what I was say. Take some questions now for Danica. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll bring you the wireless microphone over. Who's got questions? Raise your hand. Let's go to Bob Pockris back there in the back.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. With your pretty decent run in the Cup car at Bristol, do you feel like any of that will translate, or at least give you maybe a little more of confidence here?
I hope so, Bob. We just came from the rookie meeting, and Darby said it was like Bristol on steroids, so I guess he said it's like Bristol, so that's a good thing. It's going to be fast, and, you know, everything's going to be a little bit faster here, and he said it's obviously more blind as well, just getting through the corners. So it's you know, the line's still going to move around just like Bristol, I think. Maybe not up to the wall, obviously, but or maybe it will. I don't know. I might be wrong, but you know, there's going to be definitely a lot of moving around, and he definitely talked about how the rubber builds up in a long run and how it picks up under yellows, so keep that in mind. So, you know, just try and do my best to be smart about, you know, staying out there to get all the laps so that I'm more prepared for next year.
Other questions? Claire's got one.
Danica, there's been a lot of talk about sports psychologist Denny Hamlin learning to love this track and in his mind conjuring up the love for Dover. Mentally, I mean, is that something you've ever had to have somebody kind of counsel you to turn it around about a certain track? And certainly Dover would be one of them. Can you buy into loving it here and therefore maybe doing better?
Well, I do believe in faking it till you believe it. Like that came about, that sort of mind frame or saying came about a few years ago when, you know, it's easy to get down. It's easy to not be happy or excited in the monotony of, you know, the same thing every weekend, and if things don't go well, you know, being upset and letting that get to you. So we just definitely came up with that idea of fake it till you believe it. So I really feel, and I encourage everyone to try it. If you just smile and are happy and joke, and I mean, even if you're out of control, like not even being honest about how excited you are about something, eventually some point that day you will be happy, and then you're just having a good weekend and you don't have to fake it anymore. So yeah, I mean, I think it's, you know, it's common sense that if you say you don't like something, it's not going to go as well. So, you know, I mean, just try and apply that every weekend, and I can't say I'm completely successful, but it's probably how I feel about qualifying, actually. Is, you know, there's plenty of times that I've said I hate qualifying, but I know that's not a positive thing. I know that doesn't help me in qualifying, and that I need to learn to like it, and I know I need to, you know, find the good in it, and the positive attitude will translate into better results, I think.
Other questions? I saw one back there. Go ahead. Brian, go ahead.
Brian Nelson, Motor Racing Network. Danica, I don't know, coming from your background in open wheel racing and then transitioning here, about your awareness of Chris Economaki as a motorsports journalist, and obviously, we're all thinking about his passing here this morning. But if you could kind of reflect on how, you have engaged with him over your career.
Yeah, I mean, I've met him a couple of times, but I definitely wouldn't say I know him. But I am aware of his, what he's done and how much he means to journalism in motorsports. And I can imagine that you guys all probably have some pretty good stories out there from him, and hopefully in light of the sadness that hopefully that brings some positive thoughts to something that's sad. And I think it'd be more interesting to hear your perspective, to be honest, because you guys are the ones that, you had the experience with him. I just know, how instrumental he's been in certain things, and how long he's been around. And but it's sad. It's sad anytime someone who's been around forever and is a legend dies.
Other questions? I thought I saw another hand back there. Bob?
Bob Parker, Sporting News. Are you more comfortable this week with Pemberton as your crew chief, and kind of give us an update on how that's going along on the nationwide side?
Sure. We had our first competition meeting this week for Junior Motorsports, so I think that was a good first step for us, and I think that we will definitely be more comfortable with each other and more confident in what we're doing based on last weekend, and just kind of getting through those initial first meetings of, how big should the changes be, what should we do going into the race, how do we communicate just in general. I think all those things are, the first time's the hardest, so it should be better. But it is another race weekend, and it will present different challenges. And, perhaps if we start further away from where we need to be car-wise, it could be a little bit of a challenging weekend, because I don't think we unloaded too far off in Kentucky. But we'll face that challenge, and we'll be better for it if it happens, and we'll be more prepared the next time that happens. But the first weekend's usually the toughest.
Any other questions for Danica? Well, Danica, thank you for coming in.
Thanks.
Listen, good luck here this weekend, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.